Yep, let's go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm back with a brand new video, man. Hope all is well with you and your friends and families out there. Today's a beautiful day. Can't complain at all. Hope you guys are having a good day as well. It's a little bit of rain out here in New York State, but rain, snow, hail. God gives me another day and I'm grateful. Bottom line, dude. So yeah, let's see what's going on with you guys right now, man. All right, today's video, we're going to talk about the nonprofit industry. And from since I was little to now, I always wanted to participate in nonprofit by donating whatever I could give. I'm not a millionaire, I'm not financially stable, but like you see those commercials just like I do, I'm pretty sure you do, especially the commercials with the little kids hospitals, as such as St. Jude's. I think St. Jude's and other hospitals that, you know, God forbid something is wrong with your kid, you could take your kids to this hospital and really is, you know, you don't pay nothing. You know, so I was surprised there is so much people on the internet that's talking and saying that non-profit businesses are terrible. So today, that's what we're going to talk. We're going to speak on, man, the non-profit industry. And our first video today is in regards to St. Jude's, a mother of a cancer. Her son has cancer and she reached out to St. Jude's for treatment for her son. And unfortunately, the type of cancer her son had, her son currently still have cancer. The type of cancer her son have, unfortunately, St. Jude could not have accommodated her son at that period of time. So she just took it completely out of control and made a video basically saying that St. Jude's Hospital is not, they're not good people. But I always going to think and believe that St. Jude's and other hospitals that take care of your sick kid for free, I don't think you could say nothing bad about places like that. So let's get right into the video. Let's get right into the people mad, angry at St. Jude Hospital. Let's go, man. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, life is beautiful. No matter what you might be facing today, there's truly somebody out there that's going through it worse. You know what I mean? Like, so don't hold no grudges on people. Don't be mad at people. Don't, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to say, like, it's always better to just be grateful. You know, just be grateful for everything that you have. Just know that there's other people in this world that's suffering way worse than you are. So let's listen to this mother speak on the situation that she had with her son.
I want to donate to St. Jude's. I immediately say no. Immediately press no. Absolutely not. Will I never ever give them a dime? Sorry. As a cancer mom, my son has AML leukemia with the genetic mutation of monosomy 7. My son required 7 rounds of chemotherapy and a bone marrow transplant. I called St. Jude's every day during his treatment, asking them could they help my son, please. And they told me that they only do clinical trials, which means 1 month they work on this type of cancer, the next month they experimenting on this type of cancer. They change what type of cancer they play with throughout the month. And unfortunately, they wasn't playing with my son kind of cancer at the time. They was playing with brain cancer, and my son had blood cancer. So, you know, they told me they're going to put him on a list, and they're going to call me back when they ready to work with leukemia. What if he would have died by then? So again, when I say
I understand her frustration. I understand that she is angry that her son needed the treatment, and she reached out to them for hours that turns into days, that turned into weeks, that she was trying to reach out to the people that's in charge. And finally, she got a hold of the people in charge, and she was disappointed. But going as far as saying that St. Jude's Hospital is bad, I think that's just overreaching, you know, like, because once again, it's a non-profit business. It's a business that, you know, like, they're doing the best they can for little kids. And it was just, to me, it's just an unfortunate situation that the circumstances around her son, the time that he needed the treatment, it was just unfortunate that the hospital was not conducting that form of treatment at that point in time. I completely understand she's frustrated. He's a son. She wanted the treatment, and she was just hoping St. Jude would give the kid the treatment. But I think it's a little overreach when you say that, when you're talking bad about a hospital and a foundation that helped millions of people, millions of little kids, millions of families. You know, it's just unfortunate what happened to you in your situation, but there is, dude, hundreds of thousands of people that's grateful to St. Jude's and hospitals as such as St. Jude's. So, you know, it's just is one incident. Don't just try to bring down an entire empire that helped people for so many years and shame that empire because unfortunately something with your son didn't line up. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's a better way she should have worded what she's saying. That's all.
Will I never donate to St. Jude's? You guys can, and it's no shade. But as a cancer patient's mom, I absolutely will never support clinical trials and playing with people's lives this month and that month and just leading people on. And no. When I'm in the store and they ask me, do I want to donate to St. Jude? I immediately.
Once again, you know, I just think that she's just, this is too much of an emotional video. The way she's talking and she expressing herself because of the situation with her, and thank God your son is still alive. So you should be more grateful. You know what I mean? Like every single thing in life happens for a reason. And once again, she's a mother. I don't have kids, and I understand that, you know what, your kid is going through a serious medical condition, a medical crisis, and you want to get your kids, you know, you want to get your kid treated by professional people. And once again, I just think that it was unfortunate what happened to her kid, but that St. Jude's Hospital done helped out, bro, hundreds of thousands of families. You know what I mean? So I just think what she went through is just unfortunate what she went through, but there's just better ways to word certain things. That's, you know, that's how I feel. I think there's like better ways she should have go about wording truly how she feels, and, you know, just the emotion behind how she really feels. And we're going to go through some of the comments that was left on this video. All right, the first comment that was left on this video: trust me, everyone has a nurse case manager. Please donate to Ronald McDonald House. The amount of assistance they give is 15. The amount of assistance they give is outstanding. Are you serious? You want to compare Ronald McDonald's to St. Jude's? There's no comparison. It's literally no comparison. Trust me, everyone has a nurse case manager. Please donate to Ronald McDonald House. The amount of assistance they give is outstanding. So I don't know Ronald McDonald Foundation. I truly don't know, but I am very familiar with St. Jude's. So I really don't know the Ronald McDonald's and the comparison that they were trying to make. You know, and there's a second comment on this video. Fun fact: when Story asks you to donate, when Stores asks you to donate, it's because they have already made a donation and now they are trying to make their money back, so I can always say no. I don't understand. Fun fact: when Stores asks you to donate, it's because they have already made a donation and they're trying. Also, the person who left the comment is saying that when you go to a store or any business and they're asking you to do something charitable, to donate to a cause, the person that left the comment is just basically saying that store already donated, okay, $100,000. So now they're asking the public to donate to the foundation just to make their money back. You truly think that's what goes on? That's wild. I never thought like that, but that could be a possibility. You know, that I really never thought like that. Dude. That is sick. That is truly sick, though. I never ever thought about it like that, dude. You know, people are making donations, and the stores actually are taking the donation and just basically is a refund to them. So the donation they made, and they're gonna end up breaking even. I never thought about it like that. I always thought when you go into businesses and they have donation boxes, the money's actually going to the company or to the charity organization that they're raising money for the charity organization. I never really thought of the fact that they already had made a donation, $100,000, $50,000, whatever it might be, and they're just recouping their money. So on paper, they made the donations, and the public just gave them back their money. You just never know nowadays, dude. You just seriously, you don't know, because the way people are out there in this world, bro, you just never ever know what people are willing to do, bro. You just never know, dude. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, that person who left that comment is probably lying. I don't know. No, but we're gonna look at some videos that people is saying that non-profit businesses are serious, like scheme artists. Like, a lot of people really have that feeling in them. People that actually work with non-profit organizations, you know. And we're gonna look at a couple of those people as well, man. That's saying that this businesses is just out for themselves and to line their own pockets. That's it. They don't care about the people that actually work behind the scenes. They're just taking advantage of other people. You know, I never looked at the non-profit industry as such, as that type of industry, as bad people, but you never know, man. These days, especially when it comes to money, bro, it's people, bro. Human beings is terrible, bro. Humans nowadays are willing to do anything, you know, anything terrible for some money, man. So you never know if, you know, the industry, the non-profit industry is that bad. I don't work in the non-profit industry. I never did. And I truly don't know anybody who worked for a non-profit agency, you know. But when today I was doing the research for this live, I was surprised how many people that's actually in the non-profit industry, and they're all saying terrible things about non-profit businesses. You know what I mean? It's sick, man. Let's look at this girl's story. That she has another crazy story to talk about the non-profit industry. To me, it's wild.
At a nonprofit, because I think we need to have a conversation that some of these nonprofits operate just like the grimy corporations we despise, while exploiting their workers with little to no benefits and a barely livable wage. Sometimes the only difference between corporations and nonprofits is nonprofits be shaking a donation cup in your face with sad music playing in the background. They preach impact and core values, and behind the scenes, the culture is toxic, if not worse than corporations, because they hide behind the illusion of doing good. And honestly, we need to start to
Listen, I always say to everybody, the only way to true happiness financially is when you're doing it on your own time, on your own schedule, at your own will. If you work for a corporation, if you work for a non-profit, if you work for a for-profit, if you work for any industry, whether it's for a non-profit or for-profit, you're always going to find something within those businesses, within the structure of those businesses, that's going to make you feel a certain way. So don't matter if you're working for a huge corporation, if you're working for a fast food chain corporation, if you're working for a non-profit, you as a human being, you're going to find something within the structure that do not make you happy. And there are going to be those people that love everything about the structure of the businesses, you know, because what I realize about life, a lot of people are willing to kiss behinds to advance the careers. I'll say 85 to 95% of human beings on this planet are willing to kiss the upper levels people's behinds to advance themselves. So if you're one of those type of people and which is a lot, that's going into any type of business, it could be corporation, nonprofit, whatever type of business, if you're one of those type of individual that are willing to be like, you know what, okay, this is my boss, I'm gonna do and say whatever it takes to make this person happy. Whatever they tell me to do, I'm gonna just be the yes man or the yes woman to this person, because I know that they're at that level, you know, they could give me more, they could give me a raise, they could, you know, give me a better position. A lot of individuals are like that. So if you're not one of those people, and I'm assuming people who is coming out and saying this stuff about the nonprofit industry is obviously people that's not willing to kiss behinds to advance their lives. Because when you stand up and you're like, listen, bro, the way this thing is structured, I don't think it's a good idea for me. It's not a good fit for me. I think it's misleading people. When you truly stand up to go against those nonprofit or go against the for-profit businesses, entities, you're gonna get backlash. It's gonna, you know, because it's just the people as such that's willing to stand up for what's right is very few. It's a lot more people in this world, and a lot more people on this planet that's willing to ride the wave of what's already going on, because they're willing to kiss behinds to achieve their goals in life. But one thing I'm here to tell you, the people that take a stand and say something like this is not right, the people that takes a stand and be like, listen, man, you people are just scamming people. This is all a scam. This is all this is all fraud. This is all fraudulent. The people that do stand up for that, believe it or not, you are more respected in every which way, shape, and form than the people that's kissing behind to achieve their goals in life. I'm serious. You could ask any CEO, any manager, any general manager, supervisor, whatever title someone may have in any position, any business, corporate, nonprofit, ask a person in charge, and they'll tell you the people that kiss their behinds to achieve their goals in life, they don't have respect for people like that. The yes man, yes woman, the people in authority position truly don't respect people like that, because as human beings, we like when someone tells us like, nah, this is not the way it's supposed to be. Regardless, at that point when we are hearing it from someone else, we're gonna be like, you're gonna pause, because you're gonna realize that I have the authority to fire this person. I have the authority to give this person a raise. I have the authority to actually give this person a better role in this company. But this person, I respect the fact that they're telling me the way I structured this is not the right way, and we could have a discussion about it. So I could learn from this person. You understand how that's how life works in general. Somebody will respect another individual when they know that, you know what, my way might not be the right way. This person is saying this is not the right way. So you know what, now we could actually trade ideas and hopefully comes up with something better. But a yes man or a yes woman is nothing to contribute, because everything you say, a yes man or a yes woman is going to agree with. So you have to keep that in mind. So people like that, to me, like, I'm one of those people, dude. If I will not stand for stuff that I think is unfair, I'm not one of those people that's willing to kiss your butt to make it. No, hells no. I'll rather don't be around this situation, because truly, if I'm going to say something and all of a sudden you're going to treat me differently because I'm willing to stand up and be like, this is not right, this shouldn't be happening, I know you're going to have respect for me. Sooner or later, you're going to realize, like, damn, dude, I actually respect this individual. Just keep that in mind. So people out there, stand up for what's right. Don't ever bow down to the masses because they're up here, because they could give you a better position in a company, because they could give you some more money. Bro, don't ever back down to the masses because they could give you a bigger paycheck. No, stand up for what's right, dude. Money will always come. If you do what's right and you stand up for what's right in life, money will always come, dude. Sooner or later, dude.
Or group for people who have been harmed by nonprofit culture. This is a safe space, so share your story. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go first because I have stories for days. I'm tired of carrying the weight of the things that I have experienced, especially being somebody who is very passionate about the work, who is committed to doing the work, and you believe in the mission, you believe in the impact, only to find out they are ugly in terms of the way they operate. Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by working at a nonprofit. Because I think we need to have a conversation that some of these nonprofits operate just like the grimy corporations we despise, while exploiting their workers with little to no benefits and a barely livable wage. Sometimes the only difference between corporations and nonprofits is nonprofits be shaking a donation cup in your face with.
And once again, she had the courage to speak up and say that, nonprofit businesses, nonprofit entities are taking advantage of people to better themselves, which a lot of, listen, once again, in the nonprofit space and in the for-profit space, a lot of people these days are willing to do whatever it takes for the better of themselves. It's unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Especially, listen, on this internet stuff, it's like 5% of people can be trusted on this internet stuff. So that could just tell you how many people that's on the internet on a daily basis. There's people that's making millions of dollars on the internet on a daily basis. But a lot of these people are taking advantage of the people at the bottom to make and accomplish a better life. It's just the way things is, man. So it's always good when you hear people like that standing up and saying that, listen, I'm not where I want to be in life, but I'm willing to stand up to say what's right. I'm willing to stand up for what's right. I'm willing to stand up with some courage to be a part of what's right and stop being, stop just being the yes man or the yes woman. I appreciate people like that, because you don't see a lot of people like that in this world, man. There's not a lot of people like that, believe it or not. Let's go through the comment section and see. There was a lot of comments that was left on this video. A lot of comments, man. They want people with master degree, but pay as if you only had a high school diploma. Listen, once again, I never knew that to work for a nonprofit business or nonprofit organization that you have to have a college degree. That's what this person is saying, that they want people with master degrees, but pay as if you only have a high school diploma. So I never knew you needed a college degree to work for a nonprofit. You're barely making money. Your nonprofit pays like minimum wage to people. Why the heck do you need a college degree to, why you need any degree to work for a nonprofit if they're paying you minimum wage? I don't get it. I truly don't get it, dude. You're getting paid next to nothing, and you want people with degrees. There's another comment. Nonprofit just means tax code. That's a fact. That's a fact. A nonprofit businesses, they pay no taxes. Everything is a write-off. Everything to a nonprofit business is a write-off. The fact is, this person say nonprofit just means tax code. No more morals, good or righteousness. It's a fact. It's a lot of people who feels like that there is just no more morals in the world. But there's always going to be good and bad in this world. So don't ever think because there is so many bad people, there is no more people with morals. Trust me, there is people in this world that stand on their morals. There is people in this world that refuse to do and hurt others to accomplish their goals. There is people in this world that's willing to struggle and suffer, till they get where they want to get, till they get where they want to be in life. They refuse. Like me, dude, I refuse to take advantage of people to get ahead. I don't care. Like at this point, I want to be more advanced in my life. I feel like I could be doing more in my life, but I refuse to step over people to accomplish a better life. I refuse to step over people to get that beach home that I really like. You know, I refuse to step over people to get the boats that I really want to go fishing. Like, I refuse to step over people to get that vacation home. I'm not willing to do it. I don't be like, yo, time is going and I'm getting older. No, bro, if God is going to give me that life, I'm going to get up every single day. Every single day God gives me life, I'm going to get up and do the best I can to accomplish that life without having to abuse other people, without having to take advantage of other people. That's just how I feel in my heart. Yes, I would love to have my own boat to go fishing on a Sunday. Yes, I would love to have my own beach house because I love being at the beach, you know, but I am not willing to step over nobody to do it, you know. But there is a lot of people in this world that's willing to do that. You know, it's a lot of people that's willing to do whatever it takes to get that beach house. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, a lot of people think there is way more bad people in the world than good people. But believe it or not, I don't think so. I think, to me, it's the opposite. I think there's a lot of good people out there. Yes, there's a lot of bad people, but that's just how the world works. It's never going to be all good. It's always good and bad. It's good and bad. That's just how it is. You as God kids, we all God's children. We have the choices to make. You know, you as a God kid, you have to realize that, okay, you know what? Is either continue to be a good individual, is either I walk on the side of God, or I walk on the side of the devil. You know, we have the choices. A tree don't have a choice but to grow. You know, a dog don't have a choice but to be a dog. God gave us as humans choices. So that's the only thing about life. Like, you have the choice to be a good or a bad person. And I don't view life and thinking that everybody is bad. There is a lot of bad people out there, but there's also a lot of good people that's willing to stand on the morals that they was brought up with, you know, to stand for what's right, you know. And I truly think there's a lot of people out there still that's doing good with their lives, man. You know, life is not easy, bro. Life was not designed to be easy. So if you thinking that life is something that is gonna just overnight, things are gonna get better. Nah, man, it takes a lot of work, bro. You know, it takes a lot of work, and more every single day, I believe that having faith in God and walking on the side of God, things are gonna work out for you sooner or later. Like, I truly believe that with all my heart, body, and soul. Like, I truly believe walking with God and having the faith that one day I'm going to have my beach house. One day I'm going to have my boat to go fishing, because I love to eat fish, and I want to be able to catch my own fish fresh, scale it, cut it up, and eat my own fish. I don't like red meat, so I don't want to go hunting. I'd rather go to the beach. I'd rather go to the ocean. That's just how that's how I am. I don't want to go to the mountains and hunt for my food. You know, I'd rather go to the ocean, fish for my food, scale it, cook it fresh. That's just me, dude. But once again, man, I believe in God, and I believe the things that I want. Not like I need a boat. I don't need a beach house to have a good life, but those are things that I want in my life to bring me happiness. Even if to give the boat to some other people, that's my neighbors, it's not about the boat. It's about me having the ability to have the boat to go out fishing. I'm not trying to be selfish with the boat. My neighbors could have the boat. Go fishing if you want on a Monday. No worries. I don't mind sharing things that God blessed me with. I'm not one of those people. You understand? So there's a lot of good people out there, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, and don't live your life thinking that everybody is bad. Don't live your life thinking that all non-profit businesses are terrible, because I truly don't think so. You know, I think it's once again in every industry in life, in every, you know, in every part of the world, in every area of the world, there is always going to be a good and your bad. You know what I mean? So just take it for what it is. You know what I mean? But when I did the research for this live, man, I was just surprised how many people are completely fed up with the nonprofit industry. Like, completely fed up, dude, with the nonprofit industry, like on some like we had enough. So now let's expose the nonprofit industry.
For worked in a nonprofit space, you understand just how toxic nonprofits full stop. Nonprofits are some of the most toxic work environments. They are. They are some of the most manipulative, power hungry, and predatory spaces that one can work in. You would think the opposite, but unfortunately, this is the truth. And the longer that you work for a nonprofit or affiliate with a nonprofit, the more the cracks are going to reveal themselves, and you really start to see how power hungry, manipulative, shady board members, executive leaders, etc. are. And don't you feel some?
Believe it or not, that statement he just made, that in the nonprofit space, that you'll be surprised how people are power hungry, money hungry. And that's on every level of life. That's just not, that's what I'm trying to say, that's those type of behaviors are not just in the nonprofit industry. This is in the nonprofit, this is in the for-profit. It's everywhere. In every industry, you're going to find such people. You're going to find people that's greedy for money. You're going to find people that's super duper hungry for power. Like you know somebody, right? Put it like that. If you have somebody you know for 5 years, and you and that person is in the same, you got a job together in the same company, whatever you guys are working, and as soon as that person will get a title come with a raise. Not even about the raise. Once they get a title, which could be a manager title, which could be a supervisor title. Once that person that you knew for 5 years, you guys been working together for 5 years, and they got the promotion with the title, I guarantee you, majority of people will change their attitudes based on the title, because a lot of human beings are just like incredibly, it gets them crazy having a title. A lot of people, they just completely change who they was to a new version of themselves because of a title. Now they feel entitled now because, oh, I'm your boss, so now I'm going to treat you differently because of a title. So him saying that in the nonprofit industry that there is a lot of people that's hungry for power, hungry for money, that's in every aspect in life, not just in nonprofit. I could assure you that in the for-profit world as well, in corporations. I'm telling you, that's just how the world works. Human beings are power hungry, very, very power hungry and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get up, to get those titles. And now they're going to get those titles just to look down upon you. Mind you, you and these people are good friends 2 days ago. Good friendship, have a great friendship. All of a sudden, oh, you're now a manager. He comes with a raise, $1 raise. So now guess what? They're looking down upon you like you're nothing. It's just the way it is in life, man. But once again, to the people that stand firm, the people that stand on the morals, and the people that's, willing to advance in life but not step over people to achieve the goals, those people I rock with you all day. You know what I mean? There's no need to step over nobody. There's no need to treat people differently because of a title. You know what I mean? Like, dude, we're equal. A title doesn't make you better than me, dude. Like, are you serious? So because now you get a title, that means you're not going to work the same no more. It's people, titles go to people's heads all in every industry, dude.
Don't you be the person who is not afraid to acknowledge that the cracks are getting bigger. They will find a way to push you out. They will find a way to intimidate you. They will slander your name, your reputation. They will do whatever it is that they can to ensure that you look like the problem, both internally within the organization, but then also externally. It can really fuck you up. The gaslighting, the bureaucracy, I have never met somebody who worked in nonprofits that enjoys working in a nonprofit setting. It is incredibly unfortunate. It is. Everybody wants to put out a mission statement. Everybody wants to put out their values and talk about how they're standing up in their values until it's time for them to do so. And so, yeah, whenever there's a nonprofit that puts out a public statement, I'm always reading that with a grain of salt because I know that's not the full story. Generally speaking, nonprofits have really good PR. Public opinion is usually in their favor. And so, to be honest with you, they really don't have to do much in order for people to believe that they are doing the right things. And I say this as somebody who is a social worker, who knows plenty of people who were pushed out of nonprofit spaces, as somebody who has quit a nonprofit job in solidarity with somebody who was pushed out. It runs deep. I don't have a whole lot to say. If you've ever worked in a nonprofit space, you understand just how.
So he's basically saying this man is very educated. Obviously, the way he speaks, that you could tell he's a very educated, well-educated man. And he's saying that basically because he took a stand based on what was going on within the structure of the nonprofit he was working with. They basically backfired on him. It backfired on him by standing up for what's right, which, and once again, in every aspects in life, that's how it works. There always going to be people that's going to be outnumbered. When the people that decide to stand up for what's right, the people that decide to be like say something for what's right, they're always going to get outnumbered 100%. So if you're one of those people that, you have morals, you're willing to stand on your morals and you're willing to stand up for what's right, just know once you open up your mouth to say what's right and bring what's right out to the public, just know the backlash is that majority of people you are working with, they're going to turn on you. But the simple fact is they're all willing to kiss behinds to achieve their goals in life. You're the only person that's actually willing to stand up for what's right. And everybody that you're working with, they truly know in their heart the way things are going on, it shouldn't be that way, but they're not willing to stand up and say nothing because they are the type of people that's willing to just be the yes man and the no man. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. I'm on my way, sir. I'm going to go do it right now, sir. Those are the type of people we have in this world. It's all you. People like me are always going to be outnumbered. But guess what? Me, I don't care. I don't need friends. I don't need you to like me. So that's the reason with me. Like, I'll always stand up for what's right because at the end of the day, dude, we don't never have to hang out ever again. I don't care if we ever hang out, if we ever have a conversation. I don't care. I'm like that. But a lot of people, they're not willing to stand up for what's right because they want to be in the friendship circle. They want to be liked by everybody. They want the boss to like them. They want the boss to give them the promotion, knowing that the boss is a scum, knowing that the person that's in charge is nothing but a scum. They know that in their heart, but guess what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm going right now. Yes, I'm going to pick up the phone. Yes, I'm going to go buy you this. What do you want? Oh, yes. They don't have the backbone to stand up and be like, this is not right. You know what I mean? So a guy like him, he got pushed out for his stands on what was going on. So it's incredible, dude. Let's see what's the comments on this video. And he has other parts of this video, but like him talking about nonprofit stuff. I don't think he's mad too. I don't think he's like one of those situations you could be like, oh, this dude is just mad. Why should he be mad? Because at the end of the day, he's still doing good in life. You know what I mean? He's still doing what he needs to do. I don't think he's really stressing out what happened with the nonprofit. So there goes a comment right here. My nonprofit boss sent me to a conference to learn from another assistant. I learned I was the lowest paid across the country. That is funny. The person who left the comment said that they were sent by the boss to learn from another assistant. And all they learned, I learned I was the lowest paid across the country. Oh my God, working in the most expensive city. They're working in the most expensive city, Bel Air, California. When I told my boss, she was very disappointed. I would want to. That is funny though. How you're sent by your boss to meet up with another person to learn some, I guess, to learn some more things about the nonprofit industry, and all you learn that you are the lowest paid person. Sick. My God, what is the average pay? Somebody tell me in the chat, man. Tell me in the chat, what's the average pay for a nonprofit employee? I truly don't know. I didn't look that up, dude. I should have looked it up before I started this live. I don't know what's the average pay for a nonprofit, or what, like, if you've been there for 5 years, what you're making. I don't know. You know, I should have did that research as well to find out exactly how these people are getting paid, how much they're getting paid. Depends on how many years they're with the company. So I didn't look into that. But obviously for everybody to be complaining about money, so I really don't think that they're getting the money that they truly think that they deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there, working for a paycheck, selling your time for a paycheck, you're never gonna receive what you're truly worth. It's just the way it is. And that goes for, once again, that goes for corporations, that goes for nonprofits. Working for a paycheck, selling your time for a paycheck at the end of the week or every 2 weeks, don't matter who and what industry that you're in, you're never going to make what you truly deserve. Because the people that's on the higher level, that's giving you the job, that's giving you the opportunity, they want to continue to make more money. They're at the higher position, but they're still not happy with what they're making. So you think that you coming on, that they're giving you a job, that they're going to immediately give you some good money? No. And that's in every career. Don't matter where you go, dude. Don't matter where you go, man. When you're selling your time for money, just expect it, dude. And a lot of people is willing to sell their time for money. A lot of people, you know, don't want to take the time out to just make a YouTube video. You never know. You know, go on live on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, just go on live with something as such as what I'm doing. You never know who is listening. You never know how this life could turn out. Like, you just never know what comes next. So with me knowing that about life, every single day I do something, regardless if I'm happy doing it or not. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to make the commitment to do it, because you just never know. There is millions of people on YouTube. You might sit back and be like, bro, there is millions upon millions of people on YouTube, and the people that's already making money, they're the ones that's going to always continue making money. No, dude. I truly think that we all have a shot to achieve those goals. All it takes is consistency. We all have that shot to make money off of a platform as YouTube. Like, you just have to take consistency. And you're working with a camera, you're talking, you're creating your own content. So you're creating your own audience. But a lot of people might see these things and be like, no, it's saturated. There's too many people involved. I don't stand a chance. I'm going to be doing it and wasting my time. Listen, brother, you don't have to do it every day. You could do it every other day. You know, just do it. Just do it because you want to do it and you like doing it. And just, you never know who will get the opportunity to watch you. And all it takes, this one eye bulbs, this one eyes on what you're doing or what you have to say. And overnight, your life could change. You know, that's just my mentality. I live in this mentality, like, you just never know what's next. You know, we don't know what's next. We don't know if we go to bed tonight and get up. So when God gives you another day, make the best out of it and live in the moment. I live in the moment, dude. Me making this video right now, me being on live, I'm living in the moment. I'm living right now. This is life. This is me right now. You know, live in the moment. The things that's inside of you, the opinions that you have, you know, the things that you have to share with the world, live in the moment. That's what's good about being on a live stream, because this is not pre-recorded. This is not me on something pre-recorded that I recorded last week. No, this is me right now, giving my honest opinions, sharing my honest words with the world. Whomever want to listen, listen. Whomever want to swipe away, go to the next, God bless you. But I'm doing it for the simple fact is I don't know what comes tomorrow. I don't know. So every single day, do something to live in the moment, man, because you have to enjoy life. Let's continue listening to people that's just fed up with the nonprofit industry. Like, they're tired, they're angry, they're just like, this, enough is enough. It's a lot of women though. It's not just dudes. It's a lot of women that's, you know, have the feelings hurt from the nonprofit industry. I guess that those industry employ more women than men. I don't know. See, my stream right now is jammed up. I was trying to click onto another video and it's jammed up, but that's the beauty. That's the beauty, man. I'm doing this live. This is not pre-recorded. This is me right now. No matter what is happening, I'm right here. Let's listen to this woman trauma.
To that, you should save yourself before you destroy yourself. Bars. They're gonna pay jack shit, and you say she's that it's a nonprofit.
I don't know if you heard what she said. She said something about the nonprofit industry, and then she said those are bars, meaning that that's some good lyrics that she was saying. It's like a rap song. So you know this lady's already crazy. She speaks some words and then she said, "This is a good boss, lady."
Really, they're just fucking cheap. Like, shut the fuck up, you fucking weirdo. They're gonna overwork you and try to convince you that it's for good. So you shouldn't complain or be upset with the way that you're treated. There's gonna be a hierarchy in how they treat certain staff. It's like an MLM, except nobody's getting paid enough. It's like it is never that serious. You never need to act that way at a job, but they do act that way. I was gonna see this job through for a while just because I need the money. But now that I got fired, I'm realizing it was never that serious. It was never worth it. For starters, I have IBD, so I had flare-ups. And I had a flare-up last week. And I explained it to them. And they seemed like they were understanding, but they was going through that. And then a family issue. I was really struggling a lot this week. So I had to call out of work. I was in constant communication with them while I was calling out of work. And I was planning on going to work yesterday. But I overslept because of the family issues that I was dealing with. But as soon as I woke up, I texted them and explained to them what had happened. Right? No response at all. Wait a couple hours, or like an hour and a half, then text them back again. No response. I get a message from my coworker telling me that I have been fired. So I send a message and I'm like, okay, I understand I was late today, or I would have been late, but you're just gonna fire me and not tell me? And then eventually I get an email saying it was because I no call, no shut. And I was like, I called you as soon as I woke up. You knew I was going through family issues and through health issues. And then
All right, listen, this girl's stories all over you blaming a nonprofit because they fire you because she just got the job, recently got the job, and she already called out 6 times already. She's having, I understand you're having family problems, health problems, I completely understand, but this is a business. So I don't know how you could sit back and blame a nonprofit job that they gave you an opportunity to come and work and blame them because you lost because they fire you for not showing up. You recently got the job and you're already calling out over 6 times. Bro, it's not even about nonprofit. Any corporation, any business is going to fire you. It's simple and plain. Like, she's still complaining about the nonprofit agency that fired her, but lady, you got to stand up and take responsibility, for God's sake. Like, you just got the job and you're calling in. Once again, I sympathize. She said she was going through health problems. I sympathize. She was going through family problems. Yes, but this is business. You took the job. I'm pretty sure there's other people who wanted the job, but they gave you the opportunity. And you think you're going to call, because when you call out, when you have a shift and then you call out, they have to find people to replace you because they needed you. That's the reason why you're on the shift. That's the reason why you're on the schedule. They need you. So I don't understand this woman ache. I don't understand her anger towards the nonprofit business because she got fired from a nonprofit. The simple fact is you shouldn't be mad at a nonprofit. You should be mad at yourself. And if you was sick and if you was going through family problems, still, there's certain days I get up. I still have to go and lift weights. Don't matter if I'm tired or not. After this stream, I'm going to go lift weights. There's times I get up and I have to go do something to make money, regardless if I like the people that surround it or not. Listen, I got to do it. Bills are coming up. First of the month, you got to pay bills. So you can't really, take a job, take a position, and then every single day you just got a job and some family problems. The health stuff I could understand it, but because you're going through stuff with your family, you're gonna call to take a day off. I have to find somebody else to come in to cover your shift because you're having an argument with your sister or your brother. That doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand that story, but let's give it to her regardless. Let's see what they say in the comments in regards to this lady's. And she has a bunch of videos, like all of her videos, she just lay down and talk. So I don't I don't really understand her whole concept about how she's doing stuff, but hey, let's just give her the benefit of the doubt. Having a problem, ladies and gentlemen, so hopefully the comments on this video will show up sooner or later. But there's one fascinating video that I'm gonna show you guys. Stick to the end of this stream because I have a video to show you that someone in a high position in a nonprofit industry actually explaining how the nonprofit industry works. And because he surprised me, I was surprised and shocked to honestly hear the words that this man was speaking, for the simple fact that he's been a part of the nonprofit industry. He's, he played a role in the nonprofit industry for years. So I was just seriously surprised of what he had to say when coming to the nonprofit industry. I was seriously like, how do he feels like that and he worked for the nonprofit for all those years? But that's just how it is, dude. I don't know how there you go. I'm messing everything up right now. I'm just going completely crazy right now. I'm just messing it all up. But yeah, but once again, that video, when I first listened to what he had to say, I was tight surprised. Like, wow, a dude who's really like, who's up there, and he had the audacity to like actually tell you exactly how the industry works, tell you exactly where the money is going that you're donating. Like, I never really thought of me though. When you donate, like, you don't really think about it. Just like you see someone on the street and they're asking you for money and you give them $1, you give them whatever. You don't think about, me personally, I don't think about what they're going to do with the money because you give it to them from your heart. So I don't sit back and be like, this person is asking me for money. I hope they're taking the money to buy food. I hope that 85 to 90% of the time, in reality, they're taking the money to go buy substance, illegal substance for them, because a lot of those people in the streets, they be having substance problems, drug problems, so a lot of times the money that you give them, in your heart that you're giving them $1, giving them $2, and for a fact, instead of them, you're giving them with intention for them to feed themselves. But there is so many food banks all over the place, so these people know. You could go to a food bank and get food. So the money they're asking people for is strictly to support their habits. That's majority of people on the street. I'm not saying everybody, but majority of the people on the streets, that's how they operate. So let's listen to the comments that was left in this woman's video. Let's just listen to some of the comments on her video. Okay, there you go. Yep, they do have frauds, just not for, they do have funds, just not for workers. They support everybody in nonprofit get pays. That's what they're saying. They said the person left the comment, yep, they do have funds, just not for the workers, apparently. The workers get paid. Before they start working, they're told what they're going to make. That's another thing I wanted to address in this video, that they're saying that they're not getting paid for what they deserve, but you know before you start any job, you know exactly what you're going to get paid. You know exactly, even when you're on YouTube, you know when your channel is monetized, they tell you the RPM, they tell you exactly how it works. On each video, what's your percentage, what you're making, it's explained, everything is explained. So you know what type of money you're going to make, you know how to advance your earnings, you know that you on YouTube, I'm just saying on YouTube, you could advance your earnings by like having a community, you know, by super chats, you know, by doing affiliate marketing on your channel. There's several other ways you could make money other than just your views, your screen time on YouTube. You know, when you get a job, a nonprofit job or corporation job, whatever type of job, before you start working, I'm pretty sure they will go through it with you. What's your paycheck like? When you get in pay? I'm pretty sure those things are spoken about before you actually start working. So these people complaining about the money they're honestly making, to me is like, why complain? You already knew what you was getting into before you even start working. You know, so the person, yep, they do have funds, just not for the workers apparently. This is a nonprofit. Of course, people donate all day. People always donate, especially to the to the right nonprofit charities. Every single thing you said about a nonprofit is so true. I think this girl, she is talking truth in certain things she said, because I think a lot of things that she's saying about the nonprofit industry is just coming from anger because she got fired. And she's not taking the accountability to be like, you know what? I got fired because of me not going to work. She's not taking accountability for her actions. So I truly think that's the reason why she is going off on the nonprofit industry, because she got fired. But you have to think as a business. You're thinking as a manager of a business or a supervisor, somebody in charge of a business, running the business. I hire you to come in to work. I'm putting you on the schedule. We agree with this schedule. This schedule was made. You was informed of this schedule. So you calling me at the last minute telling me you cannot come in, so now I have to go out and find somebody else to cover the shift because I needed you. That's the reason why you're on the schedule. I need somebody to be here. I need a certain amount of people to be here. I need 6 people to be here, and you was one of the 6. So now if you don't come, I have to find another person because I need 6 people to be here right now. So I understand coming from a position of somebody in charge. Like if you need a certain amount of people, if you need that person to schedule, I could understand. And if this person is constantly doing this, it comes a point that you're going to be like, listen, I'm going to replace you, completely replace you. Because if every day, every 2 days, you have a family problem, if every week you're in and out of the doctor's office, you're sick every week, as a business owner, as a business leader, you can't really rely on people like that. You could have the sympathy and be like, you know what, yes, I understand that, you know, they're going through a lot of complication with their health, but as a business owner, you know you're in business to make money, not to really always, you know, worry about somebody's health. I'm not saying to be selfish. You know, I'm not saying as a business owner you should be selfish, or as a manager or supervisor you should be a selfish person. Yes, you should always take the consideration of your employees' health. You should always take that into consideration, your employees' health. But if you have that one employee that you know that, you listen, it's just not worth this employee being here, because of the history of her health or his health, or the history of the family drama every day, every 2 days is constant family problems, you have to take it upon yourself and make that decision. Like, I have to get rid of this person because at the end of the day, they're just not cutting it. They're not meeting the demands on what the reason they get hired. The reason you get hired is to come to work, so it's not to take days off every day, every 2 days, regardless of your health or your family problems. That has nothing to do with me. I have a business to run. I have things I have to do. I have, like, I get the point of the business. I also get her point. She thinks that because it was family drama every 2 days that they should understand. No. She thinks that because of her health, the business should understand. I get both sides, but I think she just truly is coming out and talking bad about the industry as a whole, because of her experience getting fired. The other stories to me was genuine. I think there was, but I don't really believe that woman's version of what's going on, but yeah, man, we're going to continue looking at a couple of more videos. I truly hope you guys are having a good day out there, man. Thanks for the people that's joining the live. I appreciate it. If in just one person, thank you very much for joining the live right now, man. I truly hope you guys are having a good day. Your family's healthy. Everything is going good in your neighborhood, your communities. Hope you guys are having a good time out there, man. Always strive towards your goals. You know what I mean? Don't take time out and don't sleep all day and don't get up and think that things are going to just magically happen because you believe in God. No, it doesn't work like that, dude. I believe in God every day and I appreciate my life because of God. I appreciate everything. Because of God, because of God, I'm alive right now. Because of God, I'm making a video. But I know for a fact that I have to get up and put one foot in front of the other to accomplish things. I have to do it. Like, no matter how much faith you have in God, you still have to get up and make the first move. You have to get up and move. God is not going to get you out. God is not going to get you up and get you going. God is good, be there for you, but God is not going to tell you, go to the gym, especially when you're not in your 20s no more. God is not going to tell you, listen, your 20s is over. Now you're in your 30s. You got to take your health serious. You could bullshit around with your health when you're young, when you're a teenager, when you're in your 20s. But I think once you get into your 30s, you have to take your health very serious. I think that's the age, 30, 31 is when you have to consider, like, bro, I have to really start doing things towards the longer lifespan, because food nowadays, the food manufacturers nowadays, they don't give a crap, dude. They generally don't care about humans' health. I don't think none of these people care, bro. It's all about profit. It's all about what they could make out of it. So right now, if you're a teenager in your 20s, enjoy life, eat whatever you want. You don't want to go to the gym, that's on you, but just know, longer you take to accomplish that good health is going to be a longer process for you when you're ready to get serious about your health. It's just going to be a harder process. So if every single day you could do something to limit how hard you will have to work when you get in your 20s to better your health, I think it's a good idea to limit those things. You know what I mean? You're probably seeing just my picture right now because once again, my whole system just froze. So you just probably seen me, just my picture. I just have a nice smile. You could just see my picture. I have a really nice smile in this picture, but you're not seeing me live no more. I don't know why. This whole system, though, it happens like that, and it's raining outside, so with the rain, it's always bad reception, always bad service. Now I'm back live again. You could see me again. Yes, let's continue on what we was doing. There was another woman right here. She is done with the nonprofit as well. She didn't get fired. She actually just quit. The other woman we just seen, she actually got fired. But this woman we're about to look at right now, she just got fed up and like, you know what, I'm done. She was just like, I am completely done with the whole situation. She was complaining about her pay. She was feeling like she was not making enough money. She was feeling like she was overworked. with little bit of pay. Welcome to the club. That's just how it is. Like, I don't care who you are, once again, that's just how it is in this world, dude. Like, if you're working for a paycheck, if you're selling your time for a paycheck, welcome to the club. You're going to be overworked. You're not going to be paid for everything you do. Welcome to the club. Working for a paycheck, selling your time for a paycheck, that's just the way it is. You're going to do things that you're not going to make the money, the amount of work you're going to work, you're not going to be getting the amount of money that you truly deserve for what you're doing. And believe it or not, there is always someone in line waiting to do what you're doing right now. There's always the boss, the owner is always going to find somebody that's willing to take bullshit money, the money that you consider to be bullshit. There's always going to be somebody in line waiting to get that bullshit money. Because what I realize in life, one man's trash is another man's treasure. One woman's trash is another woman's treasure. That's just how life works. So you're complaining about making this amount of money. Believe it or not, you decide to get up and quit. Somebody else is going to take that position and take the bullshit money. Even if they don't stay there for a long period of time neither. Even if they make the little bullshit money and then realize like this is not worth it and they're going to walk away, they're going to walk away. But you have to realize that's just how it is. That's how it is. So that's why it's good to take it upon yourself and to do the best you can to create your own lane. You know, do things that you know that, you know, everything I'm doing it for myself. At least in 2 years, in 3 years, I'm going to see I'm going to reap the reward of all my hard work right now. But when you're working and selling your time for money, you will never reap the reward. You will never reap the reward. It's just the way it is. And you think I'm probably talking crazy, but that's just the way it is. Dude. You bet you have a better chance of doing streams. You know, doing streams and continue on the stream path. And then in reality, sponsors could see you. Sponsors could start, you know, your content could start going places and people start sponsoring you. And then you're really making some good money. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of ways that you could make and create your own lane in life. It's not easy. So a lot of people just sit back and just keep going towards the paycheck. Keep getting up every single day to accomplish a paycheck, because creating your own lane is not an easy task. Creating your own lane is not something that happens overnight. You know what I mean? I've been on YouTube, I'll say, for 4 or 5 years, but I have never really been consistent on YouTube. I was at a point, my like second year in YouTube, second to third year, I was making some money with YouTube. I don't know why I decided, I don't know why. Work at the same time I was doing 2 jobs. So with me working so much and to have to come home to do content and me working out, like it was a lot. It was a lot, dude. Like, you know, but still, that doesn't give me an excuse. But I started scaling back and then I just, but you keep consistent with YouTube, you could make and create your own lane. Now streaming is the hottest thing right now. There is streamers that's making millions of dollars daily. You know what I mean? So what I'm doing right here, believe it or not, the market is billions of dollars in this market right now for streaming. Billions of dollars that's in this whole streaming community. You know, that's why you see it's the hottest thing right now. There's so many platforms, or people are going to so many different platforms to stream, but YouTube been around forever, dude. YouTube created streaming for forever. You know, so you could go on whatever platform you want to go on, but I'll stick with YouTube all day, man. You know, I will do my streams every day, every other day. I'm gonna keep the consistency, because I already know how it feels to get paid. I know how it feels to get paid from YouTube. And all you have to do, come up with a concept, put in the work, smile, be positive, and spread positive things in the universe. That's all YouTube wants. Spread positivity, and they're behind you with the help of God. So if you're going to do a stream, make sure your stream is about positivity. Make sure your stream is about things that could help others. You know what I mean? Make sure your stream is about teaching something that could do something for someone else. There's a bunch of other streaming platforms. If you want to just be on stream drinking alcohol, or you want to be on stream doing drugs, there's a bunch of other platforms that allow this type of things. It might be big in certain community, those type of platforms, but I think every single thing you do every day, you should be doing it for good reasons. You know, give back to society, like speak to people that, you know, speak to people about positive things, speak to people that don't have others, to talk to them about, you know, positivity, you know, to give them good advice, to like tell them, you know, pray to, like, just, I don't know, man. I believe in being positive, because when you're a negative human being, negative things tend to happen. I truly believe that, dude. Like, so I always do the best I can to keep a positive mentality, keep a positive attitude, and spread positivity in the world, dude, because I think what you truly put out into the universe is what comes back to you. 100%. You could think I'm lying, I'm flying. If you think I'm lying, I'm flying. What you give to the universe is what comes back to you. So you give negativity you give negativity to the universe, you give negativity to the world, expect it to come back to you sooner or later. The negative that you're giving out, the negative is going to come back. The bottom line. So I do the best I can to always send positivity in the world, man, to spread positive vibes, because I want nothing but positive things to happen to me, dude. And simple and plain, dude. Let's listen to this girl.
I'm done. I'm done with nonprofits. Like, y'all, nonprofits, y'all is some penny pinching, exploiting, work you to the bone, and still pay you the same $2. Yeah. Working in a nonprofit is ghetto. It's ghetto as hell. It is the cotton field, okay? Especially in Trump's America.
Now she's blaming the president. Comparing a nonprofit to the cotton fields, there's no comparison to the cotton fields. So that's not a comparison. There's nothing. You getting beaten. Nobody's beating you to work in a nonprofit organization. In the cotton fields, these people's getting beaten. So don't never compare something as tragic as the cotton field experience that people is actually living through to a nonprofit. Nonprofit, ma'am, you have the opportunity to walk away and get another job. You have that freedom. The cotton field, back in the cotton field days, before I was even born, back in those days, a lot of these people didn't have a choice but to pick the cottons. You know, so don't make that comparison. You have the option to quit whenever you want. And then she's gonna go talk about the president because the president's fault. Like, how? How, dude?
When grants are getting snatched left and right, it is so ghetto working in a nonprofit. Like, everybody's underpaid, everybody overworked. People don't know if they're gonna have a job tomorrow, next week, next year. Like, it is the ghetto. I'm jumping ship. I'm working for profit. I'm going to go work in a freaking hotel. Like, I'm done. Take me out. I've decided that.
And she thinks if she go and actually get employment at a hotel or a motel or wherever, she thinks the system is going to be different. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys out there. Don't matter non-profit or for-profit businesses. The treatment is going to be, if it's not the same, it's going to be very similar. No matter where you're employed, the people that gave you that employment, the people that gave you that opportunity to work, they're always going to overwork you. They're always going to want you to do a bunch of stuff for a little bit of money. So that's what it's not about just the non-profit businesses. No, for-profit businesses, corporations, it's all the same way. It's all designed the same way, dude. The people that's at the top want to continue to stay at the top. The people that's at the top that's making more than you are, they want a raise. They want to make more money every year. They want to make more money every week, every month, every 2 weeks, whatever they're getting paid. If they're on salary, they want to make more money for salary. If they're on hourly rate, they want to make more money. the people on top that's making way more than you, they want to continue to stay on top and keep growing and keep getting way more money. So don't matter where you go to be an employee, don't matter where you go to work for a paycheck, non-profit or for profit, you're still going to face this type of obstacles. You're still going to face the fact that employees want you to do this and do that and do this, go here, go there, sweep this, pick up this, mop this, do all of these things, but yet your pay remains the same. That's just how it is. The only how to increase your own pay in a dramatic way is to create your own lane. It's no other way, dude. It's no other way. If you want to dramatically increase your wages, if you want to dramatically increase your money, go create your own lane. Because even if this companies do give you a raise, $1 raise, $2 raise, and you already been there for 2 years, and you're getting $1 raise, a $2 raise. Like, seriously? With the way things are now, with $100 don't even give you groceries. $100 don't even give you 2-3 bags of groceries no more. I'm big on eating fish. Like my main food, protein source in my diet is fish. Fish and chicken. That's my main 2 protein. So I remember, dude, a couple of years back, I said, like, I love going to Costco. You know, so I remember a couple of years back, like 5 years, say like 5-6 years back, you go to Costco with $100 and you will come out of there with bags upon bags, at least 6-7 bags of food with $100. You have your whole cart filled with food. And you know, Costco has the big carts. Now you go into this place with $100. I'm talking about, I'm getting 1 platter of red snapper, 1 platter of tilapia, 1 platter of salmon, 3 different fish. And it comes on little platters, like 3-4 fish in each platter. 3 platters, $100. Not getting nothing else. Just 3 platters of fish, salmon, red snapper, and tilapia. The whole fish. It's ridiculous, but that's how it is right now in this economy. And no matter where you decide to take your talent, it's not going to change. It's not going to change, dude. You're going to get a raise after 2 years, $1, $2 raise. You know, after 5 years, you get another $2 raise. After 10 years, after a decade of being in this company, after a decade of working for this company, you're getting another $10 raise. Like, you're never going to reach your financial goals working for a paycheck. That's my whole point. It's good to work right now because you have bills to pay, but always know the money that you're making, getting up and going to work, take that money and put it towards things that eventually going to get you out of this job cycle. As the Tate brothers said, the Matrix. As Andrew Tate, may God bless Andrew Tate and his brother. I hope and wish him all the best. You know, that's why I'm bringing him up. Just wanted to shout the Tate brothers out, and may God bless them. You know what I mean? As human beings, we're not perfect. I just want to take the time to say shout out to the Tate brothers, Andrew Tate, Christian Tate. Hope you guys, you know, hold your head high, and I hope better days are ahead. That's it. God bless you guys, and stay safe. Walk with God, and everything will be fine. Yes, but back to what I was saying is that regardless of what industry you decide to give your talent to, it's going to be the same thing. You know, take the money you're making working for that paycheck and put it towards stocks, bonds, invest it into, you know, you could buy it now. There is websites that sell businesses or businesses that's already established, and the owners, they got old and they just want to get rid of the business that making money, business that is actually making good money, but the owners are tired of this. They want to go to do something else. Remember what I said earlier in this video. One man's trash is another man's treasure. One woman's trash is another woman's treasure. So there is people out there that's willing to sell their business. To them now, this business, they don't want it no more. They want to move on to something else. They want to scale. To them, they want to scale up. But guess what? That's a business that you could take, you could buy, And you could still, that business still have a lot of potential to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Every day, people are selling their own businesses to scale up to different businesses, to scale up because they're tired after 20 years, 30 years in this business. They want to do something else. So my whole point is to people out there, man, if you're working for a paycheck, don't take that paycheck and go buying expensive cars. Don't take that paycheck and go on expensive vacation. Don't take that paycheck and go out to nightclubs twice a week, 3 times a week, and buy bottle service. No. Take that paycheck you're getting up to go work for 5-6 days a week and be smart with that money. The money you're selling your time for, be smart with that money and know that eventually I want to get out this matrix. Because it's the cycle never stops. I'm telling you, the cycle never stops. You think that you're going to take your talent for a better business, or a better corporation, a bigger corporation. Now you was coming from making $40 an hour, and this bigger corporation is willing to give you $60 an hour. You still think for $60 an hour, that bigger corporation is not going to work you more than that other corporation? You think they're going to give you $60 an hour, and they're not going to work you twice as hard from the $40 that you're coming from? If you think that they're not going to work you as hard, you're out of your mind. They will work you twice as hard, knowing that they're giving you $20 more than what you was currently making. They're going to burn you out. That's my whole point. You're going to be burnt out within the first 5 years. So take that $60. Hopefully you don't have to stay there 5 years. A year, 2 years, and with that $60 an hour, you're working 5-6 days a week. You do the math. You could be out of there in 2 years, 2.5 years. Now the money you made and you invest into yourself, you have a better chance of being financially free. I'm not a financial advisor in no way, shape, or form, but I pay attention to things. It's a cycle. Andrew Tate said the best. The system is a matrix. The system is a matrix. It just goes around. It's built for the people that's on top. Yes, you could make it to the top from the bottom. Yes, 100%. We all have a chance, but it's a really small chance. And you have to be smart with the money you're making to get to the top. You don't have a rich family member. You don't have a wealthy friend to be like, okay, you know what? I'll give you a loan with that idea you have. I'll give you a loan. I'll help you buy this first business. No. So everything you're doing is with the help of God. So you get a job. You're working 1-2 jobs. Dude, I was working 2 jobs for a long, long time, but I was saving. And I saved up all of my money and I invested into a clothing brand. Like this brand right here. This is my own clothing brand. You know, so I have my own website. You know, like I have my own apparels. But that business, I realized for the past 2.5 years, 3 years, that the money I invested into that business, I should have at that time, Bitcoin, when I invested close to $80,000 into this clothing brand with hiring designers and everything. But anyway, that money I spent invested into this business because I always wanted to wear my own clothes. So I always wanted to, you know, just say that, yeah, this hat is actually something I created from scratch. You know, like I always wanted to be one of those people, and I did it. It didn't pan out the way I wanted to pan out. You know, the profit didn't come in. I'm still in the red 3 years later on this business. People is not constantly buying off my website. I promote the website. I run ads. It's not as easy as I thought it was going to be investing that money. But I bust my butt, saved the money, and I invested. The investment didn't pan out. It didn't pan out. That's fine. At least I tried. I knew what it take. It was just not the right investment. So now guess what? I'm back in the lab, working for a paycheck again, but saving and saving and saving. I still drive the same car. You'll see my car and be like, what the heck? Yes, because I'm one of those type of people. Car manufacturers make cars every single day. You could always buy a car. But when you take your money and waste it on materialistic stuff, you could never get it back. Because materialistic stuff, from the time you purchase it, the value go down immediately. You go buy a Louis Vuitton bag, purse, shoes, jacket. From the time you spend that $2,000 on that stupid jacket, once you walk out the store with that jacket, within the first hour, that jacket is losing value. Within the first month, you go back to that same store that you purchased that jacket for $2,000. Now that jacket is $1,500. That jacket is $1,200. It loses value very fast. So you have to know what to do with money. Why am I going to take my money and buy a car that I know if I want to sell this car, I'm not going to make the money back off this car? I'd rather drive the same busted looking car and work for that paycheck and put that paycheck towards something that could eventually get me out the matrix. Think about what I'm saying. People are complaining, oh, this job is no good. This job is not paying me. Let me change my career. Let me do something else. Let me get a better job. Bro, all these companies are the same. Non-profit or for-profit businesses are all the same. To get up to the level of success, working for a paycheck is next to impossible. It's next to impossible. So if God gives you another day, every day God gives you, take the time and be smart with your earnings. Pretty bags are always going to be there. Another clothing brand is coming out today. Another car manufacturer is coming out today. They're creating a brand new car today. The money you waste on those things never comes back. Be smart. I'm not a financial advisor once again. I'm just telling you, if you're working for a paycheck, you're never going to reach financial stability. No matter what company you work for. If you're getting up and selling your time for money, you're never going to reach financial stability. You have to be smart. Take that money you're working for. Take that money you're selling your time for. Save it, save it, save it, and then invest into things that you know are going to bring you back money. Invest into things that you know that's going to turn a return, that's going to turn a hefty return for you. You don't have to take my advice. I'm not a financial expert. Let's listen to what people said about this woman's video. Let's read her one whole comments. Once again, she has a lot of videos. She posts, this woman posts mostly every day. That's probably her problem. She posting too often. She's posting too damn often. She's posting every day, for God's sake. Forget about posting so much. First comment. Already know this is the most real thing I ever heard. You consider what she said real. She quit. She got fed up of the nonprofit. She quit. She's gonna go work in the hospitality business, which is the hotel industry. And she's thinking, she's under the assumption that that business is gonna bring her more money and more happiness. What you don't understand, for every company and every organization that's willing to pay you more, they're also willing to work you more. They're not willing to pay you more for no reason. The more money you get, the more you're going to work. Bottom line, you just have to be smart with your money, do what's right with your money, and then eventually get out the matrix. The system gonna keep going, believe it or not. People at the top, it's built for them to stay at the top. People at the bottom, yes, you have a chance to get out the bottom, but that's if you're smart. That's if you're financially smart. That's it. That's the only way to get out, dude. Another comment. If it isn't not your non-profit, you aren't making any money. That's a fact. If it's not your non-profit, you aren't making any money. They're basically saying if it's not for her job, she's not getting paid, she's not doing nothing, she's not making money. That's a fact. You could take it and you could see it like that as well. If you're just sitting on your behind every single day, you're not making no money. That's a fact. You know, so be grateful. I don't know if this person is saying be grateful, but I'm just saying in general, be grateful for the opportunity you have right now. If you're not happy with that opportunity, move on to something better. Move on to something that is going to bring happiness to you eventually. You know what I mean? So just be grateful you're making a little bit of money. It's not a lot, but you're making some money. Third comment on this video. I miss helping those on my caseload. I miss helping those on my caseload. But that's all I miss. No overtime, and you spend your own money. So you spend your money on some project. I hate it. So that's somebody that's saying basically what they miss out of the nonprofit businesses. They say, I miss helping those on my caseload, but that's all I miss. Not overtime, and you spend no overtime and you spend your own money on some projects. I hate it. Why would you spend your money on anything? If you're working for a non-profit or for-profit business, why are you spending your own money? I don't get people like that. If you're going to spend your money and you're going to get you obviously going to get your money back, but why bring it up that you're spending your own money? I'm pretty sure you didn't spend your money and not get it back. That'd just be dumb. Any company, corporation, whatever you might be working for, if you're spending your money to solve a problem, you're spending your money on anything, 100% you're going to get a refund. You know, so I don't get this person saying that, you know, they don't miss the overtime. No overtime, basically, they never got overtime pay, and you spend your own money on some projects. I hate it. Well, that's life, unfortunately. If you're going that far to spend your own money for a company, for the benefit of a company, you love that company. It's simple, dude. If you're going that far to spend your money for a company, you honestly love the company, and you should not complain because you decide to go out and spend your money. You know what I mean? You go out and you decided to spend the money on the project. The company did not force you to spend the money. You decided to spend your own money. So don't blame the company. Jeez, having a hard time with my own, with this right now. It's all live. It's all live, baby. It's all live. It's all live, baby. Let's continue rolling this video on, man. It's amazing. It's already over an hour and a half I've been on stream, and it feels so good, though. I feel like, you know, I'm having a good time. I'm not complaining at all. All right, I have this last video. Before you guys leave the stream, I want you guys to check this video out, man. And also, like, turn on notification, man. Share the video. Let's get, you know, let's get this live stream up. I just have to get an accurate time to do streams, because I'm one of those people that it's hard for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it at this time. I'm gonna do it at that time. It just gets me sometime. I don't know, dude.
It's gonna be a clusterfuck. And you're gonna get lied to, and you're gonna get thrown.
You hear this woman in the background. She's pissed off. I'm gonna let you listen to the whole video. She's a little mad already. She was saying that if for the people out there that is making the decision to go work for a nonprofit, this is the issue. She's laying out the issues that you should not go work for a nonprofit business. She said you're going to be overworked, you're going to be stressed out, you're not going to make money, just like everybody else. All the other videos we've seen that saying that nonprofit pays. Go to the corporation side, see if you're going to make the money that you truly deserve. It's all the same nonsense, dude.
Under the bus, and you're going to encounter older women. I hate that it has to be women, but you're going to encounter older women that are bullies for no reason because they have nothing going on in their life. The men are misogynistic, get away with a lot because they're males and nonprofit, and they're just men. And leadership all make six figures. All of them make six figures. And then you're going to get told no about budget things, right? And then you're like, damn, you don't have the money for it. But then you find out that you're going to have $1 million gala for your donors, your top donors, the people that are already rich as fuck. But you can't have like that, things like that, a nice ass $1 million gala for the people you serve. Got it. Thinking about working in a nonprofit? Don't. And I'll tell you why. You're overworked, underpaid, you're gonna get burnt out, it's gonna be a clusterfuck, and you're gonna get lied to, and
all right, let's pause it right there. And she's talking about a gala. If you guys don't know what's a gala, majority of people probably know what's a gala, but that's basically a big party. She's saying that the nonprofit she was working for, they had $1 million galas, $1 million parties for the donors. For the donors of the nonprofit. And once again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like she said in this video, the people at the top is making six figures, hundreds of thousands of dollars. and the people at the bottom is not making nothing. I explained that to you guys in the video in the stream earlier. That's just how it's designed. The people at the top want to continue to stay at the top. They want to continue every month or every year to get a raise. They want to come from 200,000 to 250,000 to 300,000. They're looking out for them at the top. So you think at the bottom, they're giving you $1 raise after 2 years, and they're thinking that's okay. That's how this is designed. And this is not just in a non-profit world. This is the non-profit, the for-profit. This is just the way it's designed. In every which way, shape, and form, every business, the people at the top that's making the boatload of money, and you're watching them come in every single day and just sit on the behind in an office on a computer, taking phone calls, and you're like, bro, I'm down here doing all the hard labor, and I'm making next to nothing. But yet, we're going to have $1 million party for the people that's donated, just to show them food, drinks, this, that, $1 million gathering for you, the people that's donating and keeping this nonprofit going. The world is not fair, and it's never going to be fair. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, out there, the people that's going to see this video, I am not a financial advisor, but I'm just telling the people that's at the bottom, that's have goals and dreams to get out the pavement, to eventually get out the matrix system. You have to stop thinking like you're going to stay in the matrix forever. You have to get away from that matrix mentality. I'm serious. The only how, and you could sit back and think that I'm crazy. No, the only how to get out from the pavement, the only chance you have is to stop thinking like the only thing for the rest of your life you're going to stay in this matrix. You have to get out that mindset, that matrix mindset, because the matrix mindset is going to keep you in the matrix. If you think that's the matrix mindset is the mindset that you think that you're going to bust your butt every single day and go to a job, and the paycheck you're making at the end of the week or the end of 2 weeks, the money you're making for selling your time, the matrix mindset is going to say, oh, let me get a brand new car. Let me go, yeah, the car that I have is 15 years old. Or you know what, my girlfriend or my cousin or my sister or my somebody that I'm close to, they got the brand new 2026, or they paying $1,000 a month plus insurance, this, that. You know what, I could afford that, let me go get it. But yet, you're complaining about this, the way the matrix is set up. You have the audacity to complain about the way the matrix is set up, but you thinking it's okay to go take the money you're selling your time for and go put it in a brand new car, or the money you're selling your time for to go partying 2-3 times a week, to go to the clubs, to go to the bar. You thinking to take the money you're selling your time for to go on expensive European vacations, and then you want to complain. You want to complain about the way the matrix is set up. If you keep a matrix mindset, you're always going to be stuck in the matrix. The only how, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there, once again, I'm not a financial advisor, but the only how I think and what my way of doing things to get out the pavement, to get off the pavement, sell your time for money. Why God gives you the health, why God gives you life. Yes, get up, don't be lazy. Go sell your time for the money. Get the paychecks. Get two jobs, whatever. Get a job, whatever you could do, whatever you're capable of doing. But that paycheck at the end of every week, that paycheck at the end of every 2 weeks, whatever it might be, make sure you're saving 80% of that paycheck and spending 20%. You don't need the car right now. The car is always going to be there. The manufacturers are making brand new cars right now. There's 2025 cars that's not even selling on the car lots, but the manufacturers are already making the 2027s. We're in July, and the car manufacturers are already making 2027 models to come out. So you think about what I'm saying. Every day they're going to have a car. Cars are always going to be around from now on forever. Why chase the car right now when you're in the matrix? Why go chase the car right now when you're living in the matrix? You're getting up every single day and go sell your time for money. Why chase the car? think the only how to get out this matrix lifestyle, the only how to get out this matrix system to become financially independent, you have to be more tactical with your money. You have to realize you have to put your money into things that going to eventually get you away from this whole matrix system. Because you listen, you think the job you're doing right now, you're overworked, you're underpaid, they're taking advantage of you, you're not making the money you deserve. You think, okay, that job, well, let me go get another job. As long as you keep selling your time for money, you're stuck in the matrix. Everybody out here in this universe that get up every single day, God give them life. And don't show God gratitude for giving you another day. That's first and foremost, that's ungratefulness. You don't show God gratitude for giving you another day. You go get a job, another job, and you think this job is offering me $10 more than what I was making. You think that $10 more is going to lead to less work. You are out of your mind, dude. You're simply out of your mind. And you could continue going from job to job. You could spend another 2 years in this job. 2 years in this job, and they gave you a raise one time. Twice they gave you a raise of $1, $2. After 5 years, after 2 years of being in this job, you only got a raise one time. Okay, you know what? I did my research. I found another company that'll give me $20 more than what I'm currently making. You think that $20 more is going to lead you to financial stability? You're still selling your time for money. So you see what she said in that video, because the reason why, no matter how much they offer you, when you sell your time for money, the people at the top, if they offer you $50, $60 an hour, just know the people at the top level, is making $200, $300 an hour. If they're getting salary, they're making $200,000 a year salary. So your money that you're making, the couple of thousand, 70, 80,000 you're making per year, you think the people at the top is ever going to want you to catch up to them? No. No, no, no. You're never going to catch up to the people that's making the 300,000, you're making 80. When you finally, after 10, 15 years, now you're finally making $90,000 a year. After 10 years of working for these people, the people at the top is already at 400,000, and you just got to 90,000. Common sense. I am not a financial advisor, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not. But I'm telling you, if you want to get out the matrix, you have to stop blaming the corporations. You have to stop blaming the non-profits. You just have to, because that's how the system is designed. It's designed the exact way I'm explaining it to you guys. That's how the system is designed. You're always going to feel unappreciated. You're always going to get less than what you think you're worth. You're always going to be overworked for the money you're making. You're always going to do way more than you're supposed to. That's just how it is. It is no other way. It drives me crazy for the people that's stuck in the matrix for decades. Their whole family been in the matrix. Their whole family, from grandmother to mother to brothers, sisters, elderly siblings, aunts, uncles. Bro, the whole family line been in the matrix. And nobody take the time to actually look why nothing have changed for decades of this family. Why nothing have changed? Why we are still going through having kids, and our kids is following in our footstep, and the cycle continue. Why is this? Nobody takes the time out to be like, because the reason why, and I'm going to tell you this right now, the reason why people don't get out that matrix mindset, because there is so many people such as this woman right here we just listened to. There is so many people like this woman that's blaming everybody else and not realizing that's just how the system is set up. People out here is willing to blame everybody. I'm not saying put the blame on yourself, no, but you have to realize that's just how the system is set up. That's it. Once you get to the realization that working for a paycheck, you're never going to become wealthy. Once you get to that realization that working for a paycheck, you're never going to reach financial stability. You know how the system works. Now you know for a fact that, oh, you know what? As long as I continue to get jobs, no matter how much a job is paying, I'm never going to be financially stable. Once you become and you get this in your mind, now you're thinking of like, yeah, now I get it. So to get out the matrix, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there, work for the paycheck. Don't be lazy. Don't depend on the government to give you money. Don't stay home and expect the government. No. I'm not saying be lazy, but be mindful of every dollar you make from that paycheck. 80% of that paycheck, put it aside. Put it into things that will bring more money. It takes long, but guess what? I have done it. I have hustled my butt off for years, working 2 jobs, day and night, sleeping 4 or 5 hours or less. Sometimes on the weekends, come from one job, go have to come home, change, go to another job. I did it for years, working 7 days, and finally I came up with the money I needed to invest into myself. I put it into a clothing brand. You know what? The clothing brand didn't really work out. I'm still in the red. I spent over 80 grand on this clothing brand. You know, you guys could check it out, ambrose.com. You can go check out my website, buy a t-shirt, buy something. Anyway, you know, I put over 80 grand into this clothing brand. You know, and I didn't get a return of this clothing brand, but at least I know what it takes to get out the matrix. And I'm going to continue to do it. Even if I die trying to get out the matrix, I'm going to keep going because I know what it takes. You have to invest into yourself. You have to, I'm telling you, it's no other way. If you don't invest into yourself, if you don't take that money you're making from those paychecks and put it into something that you could eventually get out the matrix. This is you today. This is your kid tomorrow. This is your kids' kids the day after. The entire generation of your existence is going to keep going down the same cycle. If you don't be the one in the family that say like, listen, I get this. I completely understand what's going on. My mother can get out the matrix because she didn't do things the right way. My grandmother can get out the matrix because she didn't figure this out. My oldest siblings couldn't get out the matrix because they didn't figure it out. They keep blaming the jobs. They keep blaming the jobs. Oh, I'm working my butt off and I'm not getting paid for this. I am overworked. I'm not appreciated at this job. Yeah, they keep blaming the job. But at the end of the day, the people in the job that's making 100,000 when you're making 40,000, when those people that's now making 100 when you first got the job, when you get $1, $2 promotion, a $2 raise, these people are getting $50,000 raise. So at the end of the year, when you're making 40,000, this person's making 150,000. That's how it's designed, because the people up there will never give you the opportunity to catch up to them on any level. They will, especially financially. You crazy? You think one of the bosses that give you a job is going to seriously, one of the business owners that give you a job is going to give you the opportunity to make $100,000 while they stay at 150? You got to think, bro. It's all created. It's all a setup. It's all a setup to stay at the bottom. But you have to be smart enough to know, like, it's not the business fault. That's just how the businesses are created. That's how the world is designed. People don't get in business to go broke. No. You think I invest over $80,000 into this clothing brand to go broke? You think I invested over $80,000 in this clothing brand to still be working for a paycheck today? No. I invested this money into this clothing brand with me thinking that, you know what, this is a way out the matrix. I invested this $80,000+ into my clothing brand thinking this is a way out. This is going to be my way to become my own independent boss. This is going to be my way out to run and control my destiny. So my point of telling you what I did, everybody that invests into a business, don't invest to continue to be a worker. Everybody that invests into a business, don't invest to give you a job to make you richer than them. No, it doesn't work like that. You get in a job, but the people that gave you the job, they're in business to get profit for them to get richer. So they're using you, they're using your working ethic, They're using your working ability. That's why people say, yeah, I'm overworked, but I'm not making the money. I don't feel appreciated. I'm doing this, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm not getting paid for it. I'm underpaid. Yes, you are right. If complaining was a way to get rich, a lot of people would have been rich. You could complain about the system all you want. You could sit back and say it's the system's fault all you want. But at the end of the day, the system is never going to change. The system is built the way it is. For the people at the top to stay at the top and the people at the bottom that's getting the jobs to keep the people at the top. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people don't make investments to become a business owner, to go back and work for somebody else. You make that decision. You go to the bank, you get a loan to open up a business. You work 2-3 jobs to save you money to eventually open up a business. You're not opening up that business with the intention that somebody else that you're giving a job to work with you or work for you, whatever way you want to put it. The person that you're giving a job, you think that you're giving them the job with the mentality of you want that person to become rich as well? There's very few people in this world that do that. It's very, very few people in this world, on this planet, that will give you a job, that will give you a position next to them, that has the willingness, that have the godliness in them to say, like, you know what, this person, I'm already wealthy. I'm going to give this person an opportunity to become the first wealthy person in their family. It's, once again, it's very few people, because I believe in God. So I know there is people like that out there. I know for 100% fact, there is people out there that God will connect you with, that will give you an opportunity to get to where you deserve to be in life, to get to where you see yourself at night, to when you go to sleep, the dreams that you have to get. Some people, they're out there that will give you that opportunity, a fair chance to catch up, to become what you see in your dreams every day. Very small amount of them, but they're there. It's small, but they're there. So until you get that opportunity, if God ever gave you that opportunity, you have to be smart. Put your money towards what can get you out. Don't think about God giving you the opportunity to meet someone else that could eventually help you. No, don't think about winning the lottery. No, don't think about stuff like that. That type of mindset will keep you in the matrix. Thinking about winning the lotto and thinking about, you know what, eventually I'm going to marry a wealthy man, or eventually I'm going to marry a wealthy woman, or eventually I'm going to meet somebody one day that's going to change my life forever, bro. That type of mentality is going to keep you in the matrix for the rest of your life. I'm not saying you're not going to connect to a wealthy woman or wealthy man or meet somebody wealthy that, no, I'm not saying that's not possible. That's 100% possible. But I'm saying keeping that mindset every single day, that I'm going to win the lotto, that I'm going to marry rich, I'm going to marry a rich bro. No, keeping that mindset keeps you stuck in the matrix. That's a matrix mindset. You want to completely transform your brain from a matrix mindset to a mindset that I applaud the industry. I applaud the matrix system. But no, I no longer want to be a part of the matrix. I applaud the system. I applaud the way they I applaud the way they design the system. I applaud it. They designed the system for the wealthy to stay up there and for the people at the bottom to stay down there. No meeting in the middle. The way the system is working, the system been functioning for years, for decades, for centuries already. It's for the people up here to stay up here, and for the people down here to keep staying down here and just keep being employees. So you applaud that. That's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be from now on forever. It's not going to change. So you applaud the way the system is, but you have to be smart enough to be like, you know what? For me to get up out of the system, man, I gotta take this money I'm working every day for. Forget about the cars. Forget about me going out 2-3 times a week to expensive restaurants. Forget about me going to clubs to be getting bottle service. Forget about me going to the car dealership to get a brand new car that I don't even need. Forget about all of this materialistic lifestyle. Because you know why? when you do get that business that's successful, when you do get an opportunity to become financially independent, guess what? The car dealerships are still going to be there. The clothes, the fancy bullshit clothes are still going to be there. Clothes is clothes, dude. I wear black t-shirts every single day. I bought boxes of black t-shirts. That's all I wear, just to keep me at a level, to know that, to stay humble, to keep me at a level that, bro, I don't need the fancy clothes. I don't need that expensive coat. For what? I just need something to keep on my body, dude. Because my brain, my mindset is away from the matrix mindset. I don't think like an average matrix thinking person. No, I applaud the system. I congratulate the system. But I know my only way to get out the system is not being mad and being bitter of the way the system is designed. No, I applaud the system. My only way to get out is by thinking smart with money. That's it. Being smart with money. You invest $100 a week for 40 years or 30 years. You put 30 years. You do the math. Invest right now, right? You go to the S&P 500. Open up an account. Well, there's a bunch of companies that you could open up accounts with and invest in the S&P $100 a week, $400 a month. And you do it for 30 years. See how much money you will have. You might sit back and be like, damn, 30 years, that's a long time. Not realizing time goes so fast. Before you know it, it's 30 years already. And then you'll be sitting back thinking like, bro, if I would have took this advice and actually put this $100, and you probably, I'm making only $500 a week. How am I going to put $100? Once again, if you're making $500 a week, 80% of that $500 should go into something that will make you wealthy 20 years from now. If you don't have that mentality, you're going to be in the matrix for the rest of your life. If you don't have the mentality of, let me put 85% of my earnings to the side, let me invest it into the S&P 500, let me invest it into index fund, let me invest it into something within 10, 20, 30 years, 40 years down the line, I'm out. I am out the matrix. Instant gratification is very, very rare. It works out. When it's instant, it's very rare that it works out. I learned that from a young age. Every hard battle you face in life, when you accomplish your goal after going through something really tough, that's when you appreciate it the most. And that's when you're going to value it the most. So for every struggle you might face today, tomorrow, in the future, just know that that struggle is for nothing. Make that struggle mean something down the line. If you're in the matrix right now, where I'm still in the matrix, yes, I have a clothing brand. Once again, go check out my website, ambrose.com. Buy something off the website. Get a hat, get a t-shirt, get a hoodie. Get something off the website. But if you're going to stay with that matrix mindset and continue to blame other people, continue to blame the system, continue to blame the way jobs are, non-profit and for-profit, continue to go down that path of blaming people, I'm sorry to tell you, man, it's always going to be an uphill battle for you and for people like you, because that's just how the way things are designed. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way things has been designed, the way things are going to be. It's just the way it is. It's just simple and plain the way it is. I'm going to introduce you to somebody. My last video on this non-profit content today.
Working for a nonprofit hot battery garbage. My name is Beverly, and I have some tools and resources for you tonight.
Show you somebody that actually, which is a woman that actually have a way to help you when you're in a non-profit or for-profit business, that she actually has a way that you could fight back. My only way I think you could fight back is by being smart and congratulating the business.
Hiring 1099 employees, guess what? You absolutely can get justice for that too. Because if you are experiencing a egregious harm of discrimination, ADA miscompliance, all kinds of
My whole video
And
It's
you're
stuck once again. I want to bring you.
especially. A lot of nonprofits.
I want to bring you the video from the beginning, but
Meaning that you are a 1099 employee, but they are treating you like a W-2 employee. Yeah. Oh yeah. The organizations are coming.
I know you're probably hearing a voice in the background, but my computer is frozen again. It's raining a lot in New York State right now. It's raining, currently raining. So the internet service is terrible when it's raining and thunderstorming outside. My service is always terrible, dude. Terrible. But yes, we'll wait till this come back on. But my point, what I was trying to make to you guys, man, it's not the business's fault. Don't go out. Don't be one of those people that's blaming the business for your downfall. Everybody goes into business, non-profit, for-profit, to better themselves. Because you hear that it's a non-profit business, you think the people that's involved in the non-profit business is not doing it for the better of themselves. You're out of your mind. Don't confuse a non-profit business and thinking that, oh no, they're just doing it from the kindness of their heart. Not at all. Not at all. A non-profit business is not. Don't think that's what that means. No, not at all. Majority of people that open non-profit businesses, entities, they're in it for the benefit of themselves. They're in it and they're making money though, lots of money. Non-profit businesses are write-offs. Every single thing they do is write-offs. So the money they're making, who really seriously look in, who take the time out and look in at the donation? Where is the donations going? Who is controlling this? What is the money going for? Who is paying for this? People out there do look into non-profit businesses and they do really like try to check in and to see what's going on, but bruh, it's very, very rare. People is taking the time to actually look at what these people are doing closely with the money. And there's people you call watchdogs that be into non-profit people, but dude, they can't catch every single thing that goes on, dude. They cannot catch every single thing these people are doing with the money. It's just not that easy. You know, my computer is frozen really bad today. I really wanted to bring you guys this video. But this woman is explaining exactly how the nonprofit industry works.
For a nonprofit that is treating you
You
like
know?
lottery garbage. My name is Beverly, and I have. some
I'm trying to bring you this
resources.
video super bad right now. There you go. All right. Her name is Beverly, and she's trying to have the people that's working for nonprofit. I'm gonna listen to an entire video.
I am a COO who's been scaling operations in a variety of fields, both for-profit and non-profit, and I went viral last month for a video I did talking about how to actually get justice against bullies at work. One of the most common comments I have gotten is, what about nonprofits? What if this is happening to me in my nonprofit? And let me be clear, if your employer is only hiring 1099 employees, guess what? You absolutely can get justice for that too. Because if you are experiencing egregious harm of discrimination, ADA miscompliance, all kinds of things I've been seeing in my comments, and you're a 1099 employee especially, a lot of nonprofits misclassify their 1099 employees, meaning that you are a 1099 employee, but they are treating you like a W-2 employee. Yeah. Oh yeah. The EEOC and other organizations are coming after them because misclassification is not compliant. And just because they're a nonprofit does not mean that they can treat their employees in which kind of way, like full stop. It applies to all employees, full stop. I cannot stress enough that if you are working at a nonprofit, that does not give them license to do whatever the heck to you. And I'm going to say it's especially critical that you are advocating for yourself, but because let me get something clear. Somebody's worked at several nonprofits. Yeah, there's often a lot of compliant things that are happening, and you absolutely, if you feel like something is wrong, you need to speak up. And not only do you need to speak up, you need to get justice in the right places, because I guarantee you that it has happened to other people. And I most importantly want you to realize that just because a company is mission driven, just because a company says that they are standing by what they say or what they do or whatever the case, because I've seen that in my comments over and over again about companies that are saying they're mission aligned and they do terrible things. I mean, there's literally creators who have full platforms parodying this. Doesn't matter. Harm is harm is harm is harm. And in 2023, the EEOC actually sued a nonprofit because they failed to address ADA guidelines with an employee, and like They fought for that employee.
All right, this lady is just basically saying that the rights that you have as a nonprofit employee. Once again, I don't believe in none of this stuff because companies are going to do what they do regardless. You sue them, they'll figure it out to do the same thing over and over again. So instead of going through that whole process of suing and filing this and doing that and trying to get back at them, the system is rigged. No matter what, the system is rigged for people at the top to stay at the top. So it doesn't matter how the boss of that nonprofit is treating you. If you sue the nonprofit, he's not getting affected in no way, shape, or form. You're suing the nonprofit, you're not suing him. The nonprofit is on the LLC. The nonprofit is, it's not, his name is probably attached to it some way, some form, but you're not suing him. You're suing the company. So, and that's the person who really made you had a rough time while you was working for the company. You know what I mean? So my whole thing is about companies and working and selling your time for money. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are out there and you're selling your time for money, take it into consideration. If you are selling your time for money, don't blame stop blaming the people of the company that's running the company. Accept it for what it is, take it for what it is, make the money, put the money towards good things so eventually you could get away from these people. Complaining and crying about what's going on is not going to solve your problems. It's not. You know, you take it upon yourself and you figure it out like, listen, let me just take this money, save this money, put this money into the S&P, be smart with your money. That's it. You just eventually get away from these people because you learn, you have to learn that it's not going to change. You complaining and filing lawsuits and doing this and doing that, the system is the way it is. The system is rigged from centuries ago, decades ago. It's rigged for the wealthy to stay up top and the people at the bottom stay to the bottom. It's no meeting in the middle. I explained that to you guys throughout the stream. The matrix mentality is what's going to keep you in the matrix. Congratulate companies, congratulate the corporate companies, congratulate the nonprofit, congratulate these places. Take the paycheck, the money that you're selling your time for, take that money and just be smart with that money. That's all I'm saying to you. Be smart with that paycheck. Because unless you start being smart with that paycheck and appreciating that paycheck and putting that paycheck towards things to better you, you're always going to stay in the matrix. You're going to come from this one company and go to another company and find some way somehow to complain. Every time you take it upon yourself to work for someone else, it's always going to be something within that structure of that company that you're not going to agree with. But you are an employee. You're not going to agree with everything that's in the structure of the business. You're not going to agree with the way they set this business up. Everything, the way it's structured, you're not going to agree. You are an employee. You don't supposed to agree. Just congratulate the way they have it. That's them. Let them do what they do. Take the paychecks. Put it towards things, towards a better future, towards a better life. Forget the cars. Forget the luxury vacations. Forget the luxury clothes. Forget the expensive restaurants. Put those things aside. Forget the luxury coffee. If you like coffee, go to the supermarket and get you a big thing coffee. Drink the cheap coffee for a little while until you get out the matrix. Then you could be like, you know what? I could afford now to actually go get me an expensive cup of coffee, which I think is nonsense. Coffee is coffee. I don't even drink coffee, but I'm just saying coffee is coffee. But make a long story short, complaining about the system is not going to get you out of the system. It's just not. You know, you could sit back and complain as much as you want. It's not going to get you out of the system, man. There's a gentleman right here that is giving you the honest to God truth about nonprofit and how the system is run. Listen to this gentleman's word.
I know several entrepreneurs that run nonprofits. I was a member of Entrepreneurs for several years. There was 138 members, I think, in the GTA chapter. And a lot of those people, they ran charities. You get to know them pretty good. You sit down, you have dinner, you go to running events. You know, guys like Burton Harnish come out, Cameron Hale, and stuff like that. We talk. So you learn a lot about the business model, what they do, the kind of problems that they solve sort of stuff. And you find a lot of the money that goes to nonprofits doesn't actually get to the cause. There was a study done at one point, like broadly speaking, I'm not talking about the people that I know specifically, but broadly speaking, usually less than about 10 or 15%. In some cases, it's much lower, it's single digits, end up at the cause. So, when you make a donation to UNICEF, for example, or something like, save the whales, or, save the children in Africa, or some shit like that, a lot of it that you donate gets chewed up through the organization. Oh, we need to pay this guy a bonus, they need a consultant fee, we need a new jet, standard kind of shit. Most of it goes through the organization because they get that nonprofit tax status. They're not really solving problems, if we can put it that way. I'm just going to broadly say that they're not improving things that dramatically. The whole nonprofit business model, in my opinion, is a bit of a scam. Here's the interesting thing about nonprofits that not a lot of people talk about. I know several entrepreneurs that run nonprofits.
Listen, this gentleman is within that circle. This is not some random. The last video I showed, and this is going to be the last video, but this gentleman I just showed you, this is not no random man that's just talking nonsense. No, this is a man that's well connected to people that are running nonprofit agencies. This man is well connected to the industry of nonprofit, and he's telling you it's a scam because all of the donation these people get, it goes to them. That's what I was saying earlier. Who really sit back and track the money? Who sit back and track the money that goes in and out a nonprofit? There is people that call themselves watchdogs out there, but it's not enough. There is so many nonprofit businesses, agencies. So who is really sitting back and watching the money from when it's getting donated to where is this money going? And this is a man that know exactly from A to Z what happens with that money. And he said 10 to 15% of the money that gets donated to nonprofit actually go to the cause, go to the reason why people are donating the money. So you're donating money thinking that it's going to help people in a third world country, and that money is actually going towards the people that's running the nonprofit, to give bonuses, to buy expensive planes, trips, parties, while you're working and busting your butt to give these people to donate $100 of your money. Life is not fair, and life will never be fair. Once you get to that realization that life will never be fair, you have a chance to get out of the matrix. Simple and plain. You have to come to the understanding that life will never be fair. And the way the system is set up is for the people at the top is to stay at the top. Yes, if you're at the bottom, you have a chance to make it out. But if you don't be smart with your money, you're always going to stay in the matrix. And before I end the stream, once again, if you don't know what a matrix mindset is, a matrix mindset is somebody that gets up every single day and go sell the time for money, and then take the weekly paycheck or the bi-weekly paycheck they're getting from that company, from that organization, and take that money and go invest into a car, invest into expensive vacation, invest into restaurants 2-3 times a week, invest into buying takeouts 4-5 times a week, invest into luxurious clothes. That's a matrix mindset person. Someone with an opposite mindset of such as myself, that my mindset is out the matrix. I'm not in the matrix. My mindset is I congratulate business, I congratulate companies, I congratulate the corporate world, I congratulate them, I applaud them. I understand the way the system is designed. I completely understand it. Me complaining about the system will never change it. My voice is too small with the big whales and sharks that have millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. My voice cannot compete with those voices. So who am I to complain about what's going on? No, I applaud what's going on. I wish them all the best. But my mentality is to work for that paycheck and put that paycheck towards something that could get me out from where I'm currently at in life. And I did it already, and I'm gonna do it again. I worked 2 jobs for close to 3.5 years and took all that money, sleeping 3-4 hours a day, sometimes even less. Have to go to work, get up, go to another job, come home, change, go to another job. I did it for years. I put the money towards a clothing brand, which right now, ladies and gentlemen, you could go on ambrose.com, get yourself a hat, get yourself a t-shirt, get a hoodie, support your boy. I appreciate it. But yes, I took over $80,000 that I saved, me not going to no clubs. I have the same car. My car is what, 12 years old, 12, 13 years old. But anyway, it runs and drives perfectly fine. Because I listen to stories of wealthy people today. Like I once heard a story from Jeff Bezos. That man said when he first started Amazon was a bookstore, and he had the same car. He had a Honda Accord. He had a Honda Accord that, you know, when the bookstore was going and the bookstore was getting good, and then he transferred the bookstore into what Amazon is today, he was doing really good. But he held on to that Honda, and he still used that Honda. He still drove around that car. Don't matter. At the time, he was worth over $1 million. He had the money financially to go buy any car he wanted to, but he hanged on to that car, and he kept flipping the money. He kept using the money he's making to put back into the business, so put back into the company. Kept flipping the money, kept flipping the money, kept flipping the money while he's using the same old car. Never went out and buy no brand new car. Never went out for no shopping spree. Never wore no jewelry. No, Jeff Bezos drove the same car. A millionaire. He had over $1 million+ already, but he drove the same car. Who am I that's coming from the bottom? I'm coming from farther down the ladder than Jeff Bezos. So if Mr. Jeff Bezos had the attention span to know that, listen, I want to become super wealthy. I know once I become super wealthy, I could afford any car I want. Yes, now I'm worth over $1 million. I could go buy me a car right now, but he's thinking smart. He's thinking, I want to completely escape the matrix. So guess what he did? He kept flipping his money and flipping his money and flipping his money back into the company, back into the company. Look at Amazon today. Worth billions of dollars. This man is worth billions with a big B. Billions of dollars this man is worth. But at the beginning, when he became a millionaire, he still lived a simple lifestyle. That's how you get out the matrix. You continue to live a simple lifestyle. And eventually, you know, when things get to the way you want it to, let me go get me a brand new Tesla. I don't want those garbage Italian cars people be running, oh, I got this in the drive. No. Let me go get me a nice Tesla, a Lucid, one of those nice American electric cars. You know, let me get me one of those cars. I'm good. Let me go get me a Cadillac. You know, that's my mindset from now on forever. Because I don't never want to go back into the matrix. Once I get out, I don't never want to return. So I'm going to keep a mindset that never going to get me back into the matrix. I don't need to spend $300,000 in a car. For what? For what, dude? I get me a beautiful Cadillac truck, $80,000, $90,000. I am very happy. Very happy with it. It's simple. I get me a nice Tesla. I am very happy. Get me one of those Lucifers. I'm very happy. I don't need the nonsense Italian garbage cars in my driveway to feel proud of myself. I don't care what my neighbor has in the driveway. I don't need none of this garbage Italian made cars in my driveway for me to feel proud, for me to feel like I made it. I'm proud of myself with a beautiful Tesla in the front of the house. I'm proud of myself with a 2-3 bedroom apartment. I'm in a 2-3 bedroom house with a nice little pool, I'm proud of myself. I don't need a 10-room mansion. For what? I don't need a mansion with 5 bathrooms. For what? I don't even have kids. I 2-3 bedroom house. I'm good. 2-3 car garage. I am super happy with myself. As long as I keep that mentality, I will always be away from the matrix. Think about what I just said to you guys, man. Listen, guys, it's been a fun 2 hours, over 2 hours. I had a good time. Now I got to honestly go and pump this up. I got to go and get my chest is still sore. I did some chest yesterday. You see what your boy do, though. I love working out, keeping myself healthy, keeping myself motivated. Get out that mentality of the matrix. Get that mindset out of you. God bless you guys, man. I hope and wish you guys all the best until the next stream. Thank you guys very much for joining me on the stream. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, share the video, man. Let your friend know, let him know that. I just got to get consistent with the time, though, because I know on YouTube the algorithms, they want you to have like a specific time you go on stream every time you do it. That's just messing me up, because I don't have my schedule with work and everything. It's hard for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna be on stream every day at 5, or I'm gonna be on stream at 7. It messes it up, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna continue doing the streams. Eventually I'm gonna lock in the time that I really want to do it every single time I do it. But for now, I'm just gonna focus on doing it, just getting the content out there, and hopefully one day, once again, I'm gonna have the availability to say, you know what, I'm gonna do it at this time every time I do. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, may God be with you guys, man. Always walk with God. Always put God first in everything you do. Always be grateful to our Holy Father. Always be grateful to our Holy Father for everything, for your life, for everything you do have in your life. Be grateful for who you are today. Always want more and want better. Don't step over people. Don't take advantage of others to achieve your goals. Do the right thing and walk with God.